And sorry, the go to meeting screen keeps getting in my way. And let's run. And this is going to take, for these 40 buildings, it's going to take about 3 minutes.
And do you have any settings set up in there that are any different than what's defaulted?
No, I've got, I've got a scene built. I've got a projection set Atlanta in the state plane system in, it says feet at the bottom. I thought I'd done it in meters. And that's it. The only other layer I have on here is just from way back when of something I made for just point data on all the XYs in the master list that you had given us.
So as the buildings load, John, it looks like we're looking at each address that pops up for each building. Looks like it's sort of identifying it. 940, 950 north.
There were 40 KMZs in this folder. Each one in an individual file.
And those are gonna, and I think Shruti, one of your comments was the addresses that were not going to get attached to those. Is that correct?
we will get there.
Okay. Cool.
I've got to solve for that. Yeah. Are you seeing you seeing the folder, my actual screen?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So, right. So these are the 40 guys in there.
And we're at 13 of 40.
Yeah. So somebody tell a joke.
Right.
Kevin, Marco had mentioned that the first cities that we should be getting is DC and Chicago. Were you aware of that?
There was no preference.
Okay.
The way we did it was we said, okay, there's four sets of buildings. There's the Cyber City Library, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which are all context. Then there's the national footprints, which I'm still trying to hear from the vendor to get all that together. But there's that batch. That's a huge batch. And then there's what we call the 2.5 normals, which are a level of detail 2.5 that represent CBRE listings, and that we would start with those, which is what we're doing now, testing those. And then there's the split buildings. So I told production, let's do the splits last because I want to make sure we get the normals done correctly. And so I asked Tony, like, what's your preference? And he goes, well, just do splits for these four markets. And you prioritize those. So we did it that way. But if you want us to work on DC and Chicago, if I'm looking at, while we're still loading, I think we're on number 27 of 40. If I'm looking at the 3D building, it's a 3D building delivery spreadsheet that I'll, let me look for it here. Revenue.
Yeah, and we have access to that, Kevin. So yeah, that one that you shared earlier with the Google Sheets, that's totally fine for us.
Yeah. So we just said, I just said we're going to start with Atlanta and work our way, through the rest. But if you want us to prioritize DC and Chicago, I'll notify production and get that going. I think, DC's here. There's so apparently there's a bunch of normals here that are not covered by the Cyber City Library, and that's what we're building, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
So like 1 Franklin Square, whatever, at 1301 K Street Northwest. So I'll tell them to do Chicago and Washington, D.C. next.
Preferably DC first, then Chicago focus.
Okay.
Because the thing is, with the buildings in DC, they're like because they're all low rises and they're much more. I guess getting that right is more of a priority than, and then we can work our way out from there. Is what I believe Marco wants. So
Okay, and then Peter's almost done with the Cyber City Library, so we're also going to give you 100,000 DC buildings as well
right.
from the Cyber City side. How far
Mhm.
along are you, Peter, on that? Would you say?
I'm about 98% done. Just the last two, which includes Cambridge and I think a little bit of San Antonio, and that's it.
Okay, so we'll be done pretty quick, and then we'll have the Cyber City buildings to you as well, Jeff and Shruti. Okay,
sounds good.
I'll make note of that. Let Marco know we heard it, and we'll get DC going immediately.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. So we're at 40 of 40, almost done. By the way,
Yeah,
I'm
good.
recording this if you want a recording of this, Jeff and Ruthie.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're in. Theoretically, we don't see them, but they've come in as a group of layers. And if I do a zoom to, right,
Mhm.
I can see that it's there, but then back, it gets wonky. And that's because I know from experience, they've come in
At 0.
underground.
Yeah.
Right.
Here they are,
Yep.
Mhm.
right? See these dots? Right, I suspect it at like 0 sea level.
Mhm.
Right. So at this point, you know, we have to get them onto ground, which we can do with 2 clicks in properties, elevation, on the ground. And now let's zoom back in again. And of course, because I have an audience, we're slow to resolve, but
I'm sure. Is that the option that you weren't selecting before, or is that?
I mean, I
something
can do.
that works
I
for?
was aware of that option, but I want.
Yeah.
We would want the Z values to be attached to the. I mean, like eventually be attached to the building,
right. Okay.
especially when we make edits on it and add it on.
So after going through the first time and doing that 40 times, I figured out that it was a lot easier if I would use the merge tool, right? Take all these 40 layers, run the merge,
And then just set the value there.
and then
Yeah.
just bring
Right.
that new merged layer to ground.
Do you see a problem with that, Shruti, at all?
No, no. I mean, could you please try and add, run the tool add Z information to this?
Shruti, what's it called?
Add Z information. Z.
What add? I'm not getting the middle
Z.
word.
No, it's
Add
the
something.
letter Z.
Just the letter Z, add Z.
Oh.
Yeah.
Got it. Sorry.
Can you do?
And what do you want?
At the very top. Actually, if you could just do, yeah, lowest and highest Z.
All three?
And can you select just the merge layer?
The merge layer, yeah.
Yeah.
The Atlanta 20, whatever you call it, 40. And surely you need the Z values, right? You need both
Yes,
the
yes,
lowest and the
exactly.
highest on these.
Yeah, see, when we put it on top, by using put it onto ground, yeah, visually we can view it like that. But ideally, we wanted to have Z scores that represent. So Z scores would be the elevation values, so like the base of the building and the top of the building that we can attach to the building, because when we do future edits on it, say eventually we want to split it or do something else, or like I don't know, modify the building, we have those values that we can utilize.
Got it. Any idea why it didn't?
I don't know if it's because because it still doesn't have an elevation component to it, and you're just placing it on the ground.
Okay.
That looks like it
okay.
went through
Oh,
there.
that-
Yeah.
With highest and lowest brand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, can we have a look at the table then?
So I think you had another option on there that had not processed.
They're still on 0. That's the end. So this is not the true value. Does that make sense?
I'm not familiar with Z-min and max.
So it should show, so Z-min should be the height at, elevation above sea level for that
Above
building.
sea level.
Yes, for that building. Currently, they're all,
that
they're displayed at
what it's showing us instead is Z from ground level.
Yeah, so Z-min should be elevation above sea level.
Yeah.
And when it shows 0, that it means that it is at sea level. So it's not the actual value.
I wonder if Shruti, is there another tool in there that adds above sea level or something maybe? I'm assuming you went through all the tools, but I would think there would be a tool in there that does that.
Do we need to go back to the Esri manual?
Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to figure out if there's a way to get, like, change the Z level, the Z value based on if you put it on the ground.
Yeah.
But,
Are your deliverables to other clients? Do you guys have, like, I'm assuming they're using Pro, and is it mainly like just a visual? I mean, I'm sure you guys probably deal with all kinds of different clients, but
yeah, I mean, when we met, CyberCity buildings have both values.
Yeah.
So we take them, we measure them both they're just both done when the buildings are made,
Right.
sea level and height to, and then we cut the building with the terrain. So the Cyber City buildings, I think the values are already built in.
Right.
These are custom buildings. So
Yeah.
they weren't made with Cyber City 3D software. It would have been too expensive to buy all the imagery and redo everything.
Gotcha.
And so we're providing these, for lack of better description, SketchUp, I guess, maybe, building, which I believe have, as you said, they have to be sort of spatially processed in Arc. I think these are what are they? KMZ files. I think they have to be processed in there like they were, like you're getting the Z max value, but you're not getting the Z min right now. So
I'm thinking, maybe in
Well,
that
the
batch
Z
import
max
too.
would be the height of the
well,
roof above sea level, right?
yeah, I mean, the Z max value is not right either in this case. This is calculating it from the sea level to whatever it is, the height of the building. So
Right.
both of these values are not true to real life or true to having a terrain.
So when they're being brought in with the height relative to sea level only, right? That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's on sea
in,
level. They're not. It's not being relative. Sorry.
They come in at sea level.
Yeah.
And then when I put it to ground, it's my understanding that ArcPro applies a correction to it to get it to appear at ground level, but it doesn't change the underlying data. The underlying data is still sea level.
Yeah, that's how it is.
So the question is, and we'll have to look into that further, is there any way that we can make the underlying data be what we want it to be after correction? Right? And have that show up as the underlying data.
Right.
The other thing I wanted to show you real quick was just to get the rest of the data in, to get the address in.
Okay.
I just did a join. The original spreadsheet, I just saved our Atlanta tab as a CSV. And there's the field folder path. You can see it down below here. Matches up to property name. And so if we just run that join, then you've got not only the address, but all of the underlying data that you gave to us.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course there are ways to make that join permanent. So that was my simple but elegant solve for that.
Okay.
And that
Does
was
that
it.
work for you, Shruti?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I just didn't know what folder. I didn't know folder path was a value from the Excel sheet.
And is that the data that we provided them, Shruti? Or is
yes, months ago. It's been I think 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Okay. But you have that, Shruti?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't actually. I don't know if I have the most recent one.
Took the data that you provided and just broke it out into tabs.
Okay.
By
Would you be able to provide a copy of this Excel sheet?
Yeah, I thought because we were using this as the
It doesn't
tracker.
it doesn't have all the data though, I don't think.
I think the building order sheet has, I mean, I can generate that pretty quickly. The building order sheet just has the information that, let me see, it has, I think it has, does it have everything? It has the address. I think it has everything.
I didn't take anything out.
Yeah.
The only thing I did was rearrange it by market, and then within the markets, break out the 2.5s and where we had it. The ones that were to be done with floor splits.
I just sent it
Yeah,
to
that sheet.
you.
The sheet that in Google Docs and the ones you've attached, Kevin, I'm just seeing like the model, model name. I'm not seeing this other stuff.
This all should be there. I think the Google Doc was made by production and they didn't put all that information in.
Yeah, that's what happened. I think
yeah.
so. Yeah.
So I just
certainly we
sent
can
you
figure this back.
the master list.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And Jeff,
I mean, I would have these, but just because we've done a lot of iterations over the past, I think 6 to 8 months. So
yeah.
just want to make sure.
So at this point, Shruti, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe we can get together on our end and kind of play around with this and see if there's a way around it.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find any other tools.
We both have some knowledge in this, too. But it sounds like, John, on your end too, maybe you can look into it a little bit further and see if there's something you can do on your end as well. And then maybe we can get back together after a few days and see if we can figure something else out.
On actualizing the elevation.
And find the true min and max. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the question is, we've got production coming in with the new, to meet the criteria that we had in the last communication. I don't know if that's going to change production from the source. I think this is more about an adjustment in ArcPro. Because they can't figure out those heights anyway, right? They wouldn't be able to do it anyway, what they're doing. So I don't think it's going to hold off production. What we need to do is figure out the adjustments we have to make in ArcPro, as John said, actualizing the elevation. There's probably some other ways to do it. You could, but I don't, like I was wondering if the footprints would have all the elevation heights, but that would be a nightmare to have to merge it all in.
Right.
There's got to be an easier way to do it. It's got to be something built into ArcPro to do that. So why don't we jump in for the next couple days and figure out how to solve for this, and you guys work with the buildings. Is there another set of buildings I need to send, Peter, that have these adjustments?
What kind of adjustment? That
the ones that John just did. In other words, John just did the merger and did these things. Do we need to do it?
No.
Do we need to send any of those, or is Shruti okay with the current building?
It is. I mean, John used the original set. He didn't do anything.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I can I'll just send the video. So if you guys want to reference.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. But
sounds like you know what to do anyway now. So.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's just like a little tool, or something that we're missing truly that can provide that. Obviously, it's in the right location, so it's just a matter of hopefully finding the correct elevation, or just a button or something.
Yeah,
and it's really close. Yeah,
we're getting there.
Yeah, sorry, that kind of took me by surprise, because that as far as I was aware anyway, wasn't in the original remit.
Yeah, but let's figure out what we can figure out the next few days and take it from there.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're good. Is there any other information, Jeff and Shruti, that you need from this call?
No.
Yeah, I don't think we're good.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'll process the video and send that. We'll take a look on our end, and let's circle back. Maybe we'll figure it out by today, end of day, and then we'll all, maybe we'll do another call, or maybe we'll just test it and make sure it's there. And then
Yeah, and it might just be a quick option too. Of that, we're all crossing our fingers. That's all it is. So
yeah, I'm sure that's what we'll find. Okay, thanks so much,
all right.
everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, everybody.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Okay. Bye bye.